So what you've done is you've actually, by mapping out the entire process, thinking about where you want to go as your end game, which is build the deck, you've then been able to bring it back to the daily activities that you need to do and the things that you need to think about, and also the gaps that you need to fill in about the things that you don't know that you don't know.
Yeah, and you'll find that pretty quickly when you go into planning, right? I don't know what I don't know around a deck, or I don't know what I don't know about tech, right? So how a non-tech would basically need to get some advice on how to build tech and diving into, and you mentioned something around the deck and knowing the outcome. So from a technical perspective, people come with an idea, but do they really know what the desired outcome is, or do they really know what their customers want? Would be something I'd love to explore there, and how you actually have those conversations with customers and not just within your own head and your own people.
Oh, absolutely. So we might come back to the concept of guidance a little bit later, but I did touch on that too. But when we're doing this sort of mapping out process, we're really staying at a high level. We're not drilling into the detail. We're not building construction drawings or something like that. We're really sketching out on a piece of paper, if you will, if you follow the analogy through. We're sketching out on a piece of paper, what does this thing look like? What's the environment that I've got to work with? And how much room and capacity, and also comparing that not just to what I'm trying to achieve, but what is my capacity too. If I've never picked up a hammer before or a drill, then I might look at this and say, well, you know what, I might need to contract out some more of this process and maybe just project manage some of this rather than be hands-on and do the work. Or in other cases, I might say, well, I'm actually quite competent to do this. This is within my skill set. I would like to challenge myself and stretch myself a little bit, but I think I can do this. And of course, one of the things I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in the friends, the neighbours, the father or the
hired help I can get.
Any good advisory help that you can get. Advisors are one of the most important parts of the process, because you're going to stand back together and look at it and arms crossed and think about it and circle around it a bit. I say this a lot. Circle around the problem a lot, and this is how you actually discover whether you have a real and compelling problem. Is it's actually about having people that you can ask questions of and getting that insight and that perspective and their experience. And it's the questions that really matter as you're mapping this out. So validating an idea.
It's like you said, asking the right question. So, but you don't know what you don't know too. So just be prepared to explore, right? So have the conversations and ask the dumb questions. Don't be shy of not asking a dumb question.
Well, yeah, I mean, a lot of people talk about, I should build a product, a minimum viable product, and test it and get it out there. And I'm not a fan of that methodology, because I think the problem with running to that MVP is that too often you're answering the question before you even know if you're asking the right question.